Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Hey, Melanie, Christina, Debbie, Cheryl Lynn, Alicia, Sapphire, Misty Walker, Vicki, Never Lose Hope. Good morning. How are y'all doing? Damn, I'm out of breath already. Just talking that little. I'm already out of breath, y'all. I got to quit smoking. Really. Anywho, hey, Kathy. I need to give you a wrench because you're in my Patreon. And Patreons can come to the channel members meetings. That's one of the perks. And if you are a moderator, you can get into the channel members only live streams. Who else is a channel member or a Patreon in here? I can't remember. If you're a Patreon, just let me know this morning in the live chat or in the comment section, or I can go through the Patreon list when I get off here. Anywho, that's pretty bad. I don't even know who else in my Patreon. Hey, nurse teacher, it's good to see you. How are you? Kathy, you don't have to do any moderating. I just want you to have a wrench, all the Patreon, so they can get into the channel members' live streams. Anyhow, we got a lot to talk about this morning. Before I get started, I did look for an update on the West brothers this morning. I couldn't find crap besides AV News YouTube channel interviewed Chief Walker yesterday. He asked him some questions. I couldn't find the whole interview. I just found a clip of it. Anyways, there was some kind of rumor going around that if anyone from Bakersfield come to Cal City to the West home searching for the boys, helping looking, they was going to be arrested, right? He said that was absolutely not the truth. He didn't say he would arrest anyone for coming there and trying to help search. But he did say that he would arrest people for trespassing if he caught them on the West property, on their property. But out there in the desert where they have been searching, they're free to go there. Anyhow, guys, I don't know what is going to happen with that case. I feel like the adopted parents know what happened to the boys, are responsible for their disappearance. But I just don't think that they have any evidence against them right now. Just a bunch of circumstantial evidence. Anyways, I hope it don't become a cold case. I hope it don't turn out to be like little Dior Coon's case. I worked on my notes yesterday for that case. We're going to do a live stream about it Friday. But anyhow, I hope there's a break soon in the West case, but I'm not getting my hopes up because I don't know. I just got a feeling it's going to be a while. First, I thought they would arrest them pretty quickly. And then as it's dragged on, I'm starting to think it's going to be a while. Especially after the chief did that interview and said that, they really didn't have any physical evidence, just a bunch of circumstantial evidence. Anyways, this morning, our topics are sad topics, as usual. One of them is a missing family from Michigan were found dead in their truck. We're going to discuss that. Also, a 6-year-old little boy from South Carolina was mauled to death by a pit bull, a stray dog. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Madeleine McCann case because they have a new person of interest that they want to interview, a convicted pedophile child killer. Also, what else did I have? Oh, yeah. There was a mass shooting in Indiana. A whole family was killed by the 17-year-old son. And also, we're going to talk about Kelly Ann Conway because police were called to that house, and it was over Kelly Ann's daughter, Claudia, posting a picture of herself without a shirt on. I think it was on Twitter, and she's a teenage girl. And then Claudia went on to make a post, and she deleted it, but it said something about her mom was going to be going to jail over it, that her mom took the photo off of her phone. Let me look at my chat for a second. Timothy, can you let the dog in, please? Hey, faithful one. Hey, Sarah. Sounds like this family broke down and maybe froze to death. Yeah, let me get to that case here. Poor little baby. Now, the parents do have a history of drug addiction, but authorities do not think that that's why they died. They think that this couple's truck broke down. Missing family, including 8-month-old baby, found dead inside truck. A Michigan family reported missing earlier this month has been found dead. MLive reports that the couple, Amanda Pomeroy and Douglas Daughtry, I think that's how you say his name, maybe it's Daughtry, and their infant son Jacob disappeared on January 12th from the Bay City area. Authorities issued an endangered missing advisory on January 16th after messages and calls to the family went unanswered. The Okemos County Sheriff's Department announced that a snowmobile rider saw a pickup truck in a secluded area in Rose City on January 24th and contacted police. Authorities who investigated the scene said they found all 3 family members deceased inside the truck, tucked in a wooded area off of Stony Ridge Road. Although the couple reportedly had issues with drug abuse, authorities said drugs likely didn't play a part in their deaths. Investigators said the family's truck broke down and they didn't have a way to escape the cold. I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but he looks really bad in that picture right there. Bless their hearts. I knew he didn't leave because he would have called me. He called me, if not every day, maybe every 2 or 3 days. That's what Daughtry's mother, Shirley, said. An autopsy is currently underway to determine the official cause of death for all 3 victims. Meanwhile, the family has set up a GoFundMe page to help with funeral and burial expenses. Let's click on that. Let me see if you guys can see that. Sometimes if I screen share and then I click to another tab, it won't share it. Okay, so let's do this. I want y'all to see the GoFundMe. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, why didn't one of them go for help? I don't know. I mean, one could, stayed with the baby in the vehicle and tried to have kept him warm, and the other could have went for help. I don't know how far from civilization they were, how far back in the woods they were, and what were they doing back there? Especially, in bad weather. Okay, so they're trying to raise $20,000. Excuse me. They've raised $2,652. That's so sad. We would like to thank everyone who has helped search, pass out flyers, who rode the trails daily, sometimes a couple days, in search of this family. But as you may have heard, Doug, Amanda, and baby Jacob were found as angels. We are doing what we can to help this family as they have to plan a funeral for 3 of their family members. We hope to raise enough to cover the funeral costs so this family doesn't have to worry about that along with their grieving. Any remaining funds will go to Kim to build a room for Michelle, Doug, and Amanda's daughter, and for anything else she may need. Okay, so there's another child, this little girl. I thought at first that might have been Amanda's childhood photo or something. Let me get the link to this GoFundMe in case anybody wants to check it out. Okay. Hey, Light Feather, Samara. If I missed anyone. Hi, Mike. How are you? Okay. That is so sad. So basically, I'm thinking they died of hypothermia. Gosh, how scary that must have been. Little Jacob is a beautiful little chubby baby. Let me share his little picture again. He is so cute. You know what I was thinking, guys? Maybe I shouldn't think this way, but they should put the baby with her, you know, when they bury him. That's what I would want, you know. Anyways, I don't know if they will do that. They'll probably have 3 separate caskets, but I don't see anything wrong with the baby being in with the mother myself. Anyhow, prayers for this family. I'll keep y'all updated when they get their autopsy results back. If they make them public, I'll update you guys. Okay, what else? Oh, let's do the story about the little boy from South Carolina. This is so sad. So this little boy was mauled to death by a stray pit bull last Wednesday. Someone had abandoned the dog on the family's property. The mom says that she was trying to find the dog a home. She says that she kept the dog away from her son for about 2 weeks, and she tested the dog around small animals. But the dog attacked him last Wednesday, and he was dead within a matter of minutes. Now, the dog was later captured and euthanized. And the mom does have a little short live stream video that's included with this article. She must have done a Facebook Live after this little boy was killed. 6-year-old, known for being full of life, is dead after a gruesome pit bull attack at his South Carolina home. He's so cute. Let me see. I can't remember his name. Oh, Cameron. Cameron Jace Hatfield was deceased when authorities arrived at the home in Hampton County last Wednesday. According to authorities, the boy was viciously mauled by a pit bull, who was later captured by animal control and euthanized. The boy's mother, Victoria Labar, took to Facebook Live after the incident and explained that they had been taking care of a stray pit bull who wandered onto their property. She was in the process of trying to find the dog a permanent home when the incident happened. My 6-year-old little boy was attacked early this afternoon by a pit bull that I had been trying to find a home for. It had been abandoned on our property. Here's her video. We'll watch it. This lady has been an advocate for pit bulls for a long time. Let me unplug my mics. Okay. My mouse is not working.
Okay, so me and my family need some space right now, as I'm sure most of you have heard that my 6-year-old little boy was attacked earlier this afternoon by the pit bull that I had been trying to find a home for that had been abandoned on our property. So I'm asking for some space. I know that you all care, but we are grieving and we just need the space. Please.
So sad.
I was an advocate supporter for pit bulls. And what happened today happened so fast that there was nothing that anybody could do. It will be at least a week before we'll be able to make funeral arrangements. And I will reach out with information then, but till then I just ask for space for me and for Cameron because we are going through the hardest things of our life right now. It does not even feel real that we will wake up tomorrow and our son will not be here. So I thank everybody in advance for the prayers and the thoughts and the concerns. And I want to let you know they are appreciated.
That is so sad, guys. So sad. Let's see. Here's a picture of the dog. Looks like it says it was posted about 2 weeks ago. The post says, let me put back up my mic. My audio always sounds terrible without it. Took in the dog that had been abandoned by some piece of shit. I tested him for over a week with small animals. Never let my son alone with him. We had been loving and kind, gave him a bed, home, and love, and he still snapped over a week later. He was doing good till he just wasn't. It took was a second, and he ended my son's life. My other dog and husband even tried to get the dog off my boy. Whoever you are that you dropped, crap, I can't see it all. Okay, here. Okay. Whoever you are that you dropped your trained to kill hunting dog off and thought nothing of the consequences of your actions. To all the hunters in or around Brunson and Hampton who have to pay dues, somebody recognizes this dog. Please come forward. And then there's an edit below. It says, I gave the owners an adamant amount of time. At this point, I believe they ditched their dog on purpose. Having spent a week with the sweet boy, I cannot imagine why. He needs a loving home, someone who can be more dedicated to the TLC he needs. I will be looking into all offers as you can never be too careful homing pitties. Okay, so this must have been, so she was trying to find it a home and then she edited her post with what happened. So the attack must have happened right in front of them. I'm wondering what caused this dog to snap. Ever who dropped this dog off, if they can find the owners, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, a whole lot of trouble. I hate it for the family. It's so sad and heartbreaking. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be traumatized for the rest of their lives seeing something like that. Bless his little heart. Gosh, you just can't trust, strange animals around little kids. You just can't. And sometimes dogs will attack kids that they've already been around, been raised with. We actually had something really horrible happen here. In Abington, Virginia, I think it was before I started my YouTube channel. There was a couple that had a newborn baby. They had a hybrid wolf dog. half wolf, half regular dog, you know. They brought the newborn baby home, wasn't but a few days old, and the dog killed the baby, got it out of the bassinet, and killed the baby. Now, the parents were charged with a few things. I can't remember exactly what they were charged with. But yeah, they said that the dog they had raised it since it was a pup. It was jealous of the baby. I actually ran into a woman in Walmart. You know, I'll talk to everybody. Anyways, we struck up a conversation and she had a hybrid and she was trying to give it to me. And I was like, no, no, no. I got a house full of dogs. I remember hearing about that. How horrible. Yeah, it happened in Abington. I'm sure you can find something about it on Google. Happened in Abington, Virginia. All you'd have to search is hybrid dog kills newborn. It's awful. Hey, Alyssa, good morning. My brother used to raise pits. I will never own one. I'm too scared. You know what? I have been around a lot of sweet pit bulls. My brother's always liked pit bulls. He's had a couple. But they do get a bad rap because of things like this. When things like this happens, it's all over the news. I think it's all in how you raise a dog myself. But then again, you know, animals get jealous and protective. Even if you do raise them to be sweet, that don't guarantee that they're not going, you know, to bite or something. Now, personally, I wouldn't trust my dog, Ladybug, around small kids. I wouldn't because she's not used to them. Yeah, she's been around my son, but he's kind of like, you know, he's quiet, well-mannered and stuff. And also, my neighbor's little boy has teased her a lot, and she doesn't seem to like him, so I can't trust her around small kids. It has a lot to do with how you raise them. Yeah. Now, like Skylar, my beagle, she's totally opposite than Ladybug. Skylar don't have a mean bone in her body. Well, Lady's not mean. She can just get a little snippy with people outside of the pack, you know. But Skylar, she loves everybody she meets, every animal she meets, except for squirrels and birds. Hey, Red Rum. I actually felt kind of bad about sharing this story this morning just because I know a lot of people own pit bulls, and I do know that a lot of people don't like pit bulls, you know, and I just don't want to offend anyone. They do get a bad rap, but you know what? In the last few months, I've probably seen at least 3 different stories of German shepherds attacking children. Yeah. So it's just not the pit bull breed. Are y'all talking about snakes? Speaking of snakes, there's a case from the pet community, a murder case we may talk about. This guy that was in the snake breeding business was murdered by his wife and her lover. Yeah. A friend of mine was actually friends with him. It's how I even learned about the case. And then I saw Court TV had put up something about it. But anyhow, prayers for that family. That is so sad. I'm wondering what kind of other dog that... Well, she said she was an advocate for pit bull, so I'm assuming the other dog was a pit bull too. Not that it matters. I'm just wondering how that dog reacted when the stray pit bull attacked that little boy. Just curious to what made that dog snap. I did think to myself, do you reckon someone dumped that dog off because it was mean? They couldn't do anything with it? I don't know. Ever who dropped that dog off should be charged, though. That's for sure. Okay. So next, let's talk about... Let me get my article pulled up. Madeleine McCann. They have someone else that they're going to be questioning about her disappearance. Now, I don't think this is a good suspect to question. Yeah, he was in Pride, Deluge. Yeah, he's convicted pedophile child murderer. But look, He had a thing for little boys. Madeleine's not a boy. They said in the article I was reading, they was like, that doesn't matter. But yeah, it does matter. Why all of a sudden would he go from being a sicko about little boys to little girls? That doesn't make any sense. Let me see what his name is. He's a German child killer. Martin Ney. He's 49 years old, is set to be questioned for a second time over Madeleine McCann's disappearance. Let me get to screen share here. I got a little anxiety this morning. I'm having trouble getting my thoughts together, so just overlook me if I stutter and stuff or get tongue-tied. Okay. German child killer Martin A is set to be questioned for a second time over Madeleine's disappearance. The 49-year-old man, who was jailed for life in 2012 for abducting and murdering 3 young children and abusing many more, has been extradited from France to be pulled in for questioning again. After reviewing the evidence into Madeleine's disappearance, Scotland Yard suggested interviewing him again. According to The Sun, the convicted triple murderer was interviewed in 2007 after a man seen near the apartment in Praia de Luz, Portugal, where the 3-year-old girl went missing. Ney was said to fit the description. And here is this weirdo's picture. You know what this weirdo used to do? He used to dress up in camouflage. One of those big camouflage outfits, like it can be blend in with the trees and stuff, and jump out on little kids and abduct them. Little boys. The German sex fiend is currently serving a life sentence for the murder of 3 boys. The killer, known as the Masked Man, was reportedly known to haunt the Algarve and traveled throughout Portugal in the 1990s. He revealed in chat room messages under the username Jerd X he had dressed in camouflage to jump out of the bushes in children's playgrounds if a beautiful boy goes past, the Sun reported. He also wore a mask and balaclavas. I don't know if I said that right, and replied yes when one girl awoke from a nap and asked if he was her daddy. What? Ney was jailed for killing Stefan Jar, 13, in 1992. Dennis Rostel, 8 years old, in 1995. Dennis Klein, 9 years old, in 2001. His known victims are all boys, but experts claim gender is often unimportant for pedophiles. Well, that may be true, but I don't know. I just think he had a thing for little boys, and I don't think he had anything to do with Madeleine's disappearance. He has denied being involved. Ney is believed to have leapt out at children from behind bushes wearing a mask and dressed all in black. Look at that weirdo. Imagine how scared those little boys were. Ney was interviewed over Madeleine's disappearance in 2007 after he was believed to match a previously issued suspect's photo fit. Let's look at these pictures here. That's a nice resort. I'll never understand why those parents left little bitty children unattended and went and had dinner with their friends. Why didn't the kids go to dinner with them? I mean, they were on a family vacation. And what was the place they ate at inside the resort? The Tapas or something like that. It was a good distance away from their room, their flat, whatever you call it, condo. Okay, let's see. Let's get out of this. Scroll on down. I'm going to look at the chat because I know y'all probably got a lot to say about this. I'm wondering what they're going to do with Christian Bruckner. I thought they said that he was responsible for it. That's what the German police were saying a few months ago. Okay, it was reported in 2018 that Nay confessed to a fourth killing to a cellmate, that of a 10-year-old French schoolboy named Jonathan Colomb, who was kidnapped and killed from a holiday camp in St. Brevin, Les Pins in 2004. This has not resulted in a charge. He was also investigated over the disappearance of a German boy, Rene, is that Hasse or something, in Portugal in 1996, but never charged. See, his victims are all boys. I know the experts say that don't matter. They could change and, want a different gender. I don't know if I agree with that. I know I'm not an expert, but why would he go from boys to a girl? And, there were other kids in the room with Madeleine, her siblings, which are little boys, right? So that don't even make sense to me. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying. Hey, Colleen. I'm in another country, no less. Oh, what country are you in, Melanie? If and when I have a child, my eyes would never be off them if they were out and about. Yeah. A lot of people have those little backpacks that they put on their little kids, and the backpack has like a little leash on it. So you can hold it or wrap it around, Velcro it around your wrist so you can keep up with them. I started to get Timothy one of those when he was little, but I never did. Some people don't like them. They're like, hey, kids are not dogs. But, it's better to be safe than sorry, I think. A lot of weirdos and pedophiles out in the world, for real. I don't know, guys, if they're ever going to solve Madeleine's disappearance. Here they try to convince the public that they had some evidence on this Christian Bruckner guy, another pedophile. And now they're coming up with this guy, this Nay guy. So I don't know if we can trust the German police. I really don't think we can. I mean, they were not from Portugal, and they left their child alone. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is so weird. That's kind of like child neglect. Leaving your kids in a hotel room. Well, it's not kind of like, it is child neglect. Unattended while you go wine and dine with your friends. We're talking little bitty kids, toddlers, babies. That don't make no sense, especially when the hotel had a nanny service there, a babysitting service. Now, they claim that every 15 to 30 minutes, something like that, they would go check on the kids. But still, it just don't make sense. They're on a family vacation, but the kids don't go dine with them. Is that not weird, or is it just me? I mean, these are fancy people. These are rich people, so maybe they do things different than this old country girl. But I just thought when you went on family vacations, you dined and stuff together. Like, what did the kids eat? What did they eat for supper? Dinner, whatever you want to call it. It's just weird. And then I've heard that Madeleine's mom, Kate, her book was really strange. Like, she wrote about a dream that she had about Madeleine, and it was really graphic, talking about blood and Madeleine being molested and things like that. I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. People were outraged by that, from what I understand. I've not read the book. The weirdest part, yeah, exactly, Alyssa, exactly. The weirdest part was leaving them by themselves. Cece, do you remember back early on they said Christian was walking around the schoolyard playground with another man? Yeah, maybe these two weirdos knew each other. Actually, I think Christian's a better suspect than this, what's his name? Martin Nay? Something like that. than him, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people think they were trying to use Christian as a scapegoat. I kind of think that too. Well, I'm conflicted. I kind of think they were doing that, and then I kind of think, damn, he is a good suspect if he really was in Portugal. Because according to the German police, they have phone records that put him right at the resort the night Madeleine disappeared. I would like to see that, wouldn't you guys? I'd like to see those phone records. I don't know. It's just weird. They were kept going on and on and on about Christian being responsible for Madeleine's disappearance, and they said they could prove it. They wouldn't disclose how. And now they're coming up with this Martinet guy. Something's fishy, guys. I smell a rat. For real. Anyhow, we'll have to see how it plays out. I think this is going to be another JonBenet Ramsey case. I mean, it's not going to be solved, I don't think, anytime soon. It might be solved 30 or 40 years from now. Maybe. It was over 100 yards away. That's more than a football field. Not close enough, in my opinion. No, see, we actually looked at some pictures on a live stream once that showed the restaurant. And it showed the place they were staying at. And it was a good distance away. I would have never, ever done that. That's being very irresponsible. Leaving your kids unattended in a strange country by themselves. They also claim that Christian Bruckner knew how to get in and out of that resort because he had broke in before. And another thing that makes me think he's a good suspect is a year and a half before Madeleine's disappearance is when he rapes that, 60, 70-year-old woman, American woman at that resort. So that's why I was thinking, plus the phone records, if that's true. No, it's not right, Vicky. It's not right at all. I take my kids on vacation to spend time with them, not drinking and dining with my friends. Exactly, Holly. That's what I'm thinking too. I didn't know if it was just me or what, but I just really think that's weird. For number one, they left them alone and then went and dined with their friends. Like, family vacation, you're supposed to be eating together, I thought. Maybe the rich uppity-ups do it different. I don't know. I just know when I go on family vacations, I like for everyone to eat together. Anyhow, we'll have to see how it plays out, guys. What else are we going to talk about? I hear my rooster over there going crazy. Oh, the mass shooting in Indiana. I think 411 now has done some videos on it. Let's take a look at it. Allegedly, a 17-year-old killed his entire family. Well, except for his 13-year-old brother. He lived. He got shot, but he lived. There was a 19-year-old that was pregnant that was also shot. I don't know how she's related to the family. Let me get my notes from this. Anyhow, evidently he was mad at his parents because he had snuck out or he had done something. And they told him that later he was going to be reprimanded. And he got a gun and started shooting them. He shot his parents first, then his sister, and then his other brother, his 13-year-old brother. Let's read all this. They're pretty ladies, by the way. A domestic dispute reportedly led a 17-year-old Indiana boy to fatally shoot 6 people, including his parents and 2 siblings, at their home on Sunday. The 15-year-old sole survivor is reportedly the suspect's younger brother. The boy, who was found shot near the family's Indianapolis home, told police he heard gunfire upstairs after the 17-year-old was reprimanded for leaving the house without permission and was told the issue would be addressed later. Oh, my bad. I think I said he was 13. He's 15. The 17-year-old apparently first shot his parents, Kezzy, I guess that's how you say it, and Raymond Childs, both 42 years old. The surviving victim said then he heard his sister, Rita, age 13, scream. He shot them before additional gunshots rang out. The boy reportedly said his older brother then came downstairs with a Draco gun and opened fire. WXIN reported that the boy fled the home while his brother kept shooting at him. Also killed in Sunday's mass shooting was Kiara Hawkins, age 19, who was pregnant. Her unborn son, who was nearly full term, did not survive. It is not immediately clear how Hawkins is connected to the other victims. I'm just wondering if she might have been the girlfriend of the 17-year-old. The 17-year-old suspect was arrested in Plainfield hours after the deadly shooting, though he has not publicly been named due to his age. That may change if he is charged as an adult. That's something new I have learned recently that I did not know. If they decide to charge teens as adults, they will release their name. I don't know how I didn't know that, but I didn't. This is so sad. Where did he get this damn gun from? So there's got to be more to it than that. So he shoots his entire family, plus a pregnant lady, because he snuck out of the house and was probably going to be grounded. It said reprimanded. I don't know how they punish their kids. I mean, I don't know if they grounded them or what. But anyhow, there's got to be more to the story than that. There had to be more going on with this kid. And I'm just wondering, is this the 15-year-old boy in this picture? Or the 17-year-old? It's a handsome little feller. Let's see. There wasn't no more pictures, was there? No. That is so sad. We're going to follow that story. And let me see something for a sec. Let me get the link to 411 Now's channel because he has some videos up about this. And he puts out some good videos. Let me get his channel link. Okay. I feel like you got to do like 100 different things to screen share, to share links. It gets so annoying. Anyways, there's the link to Will's channel. Y'all check him out. Okay. Now I want to share with y'all this monster grandparents that kept their little granddaughter in a dog cage. I have the same size dog crate. Or I did. I let my mom borrow it for her weenie dogs. But I wouldn't even put my little Yorkie in the cage. I got it because she was peeing at night everywhere when I first got her years ago. But I never could have the heart to lock her in. I'd always leave the door open with her little bed in it. Anyways, eventually she quit even going in it, and I gave it to my mom. Anyhow, couple kept 5-year-old granddaughter locked in dog cage at filthy home. Where is the parents? Where's the parents of this little girl? The victim reportedly called the residence the mean house. An Oklahoma couple and a friend were arrested Monday amid allegations they kept their 5-year-old granddaughter imprisoned in a dog cage at their filthy, cluttered home. Now, they had a friend that was coming over to the house that knew they were putting this little girl in a dog cage, and he didn't do anything about it. Charles Rhonda, 63, and the victim's legal guardian, Mary DeRhonda, 59, are accused of keeping the girl in a cage for long periods of time between November 1st and December 15, 2020. The victim was 4 years old when the abuse started, and she described her grandparents' home as the mean house, according to the Oklahoman. Police got involved on December 15th after receiving a report regarding an intoxicated woman driving away from a hospital with a young child in tow. A social worker described the girl as extremely dirty, smelly, and unkept, while a detective said the home was filled with garbage and rotting food. The 5-year-old reportedly told her temporary foster parents of the dog cage she was kept in at her grandparents' home. The Oklahoman reported that the girl also said her grandfather would not feed her or allow her to use the bathroom. She demonstrated the size of the cage by assuming a fetal position, saying that when she was in the cage, she could not move, and that sometimes they would put a dog in there with her, a police report stated. The girl also said she was put in the cage when she was annoying or being punished. Officers reportedly took into evidence a wire dog crate from a storage unit which measured 28 inches long, 18 inches wide, and 19 inches tall. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation is testing hairs found in the crate to verify the girl's story. Jeremy Lee Cook, 46, was accused of frequently visiting the home. KFOR reported that he was Charles DeRonda's friend. KOCO reported that he was arrested Monday for child abuse by injury. He is also charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon and burglary in an unrelated 2019 case. The DeRondas, I think it's DeRondas, are reportedly divorced but were living together. They are charged with child neglect. KFOR reported that the victim is in protective custody. Jesus Christ. I don't think the little girl is lying about it. Little kids don't make up things like that. I mean, sometimes a kid will tell a fib or stretch the truth or get something mixed up. But they're not going to come up with a story like this, a little 5-year-old girl. I hope that they can prove that they did this. They need their ass put in prison for the rest of their lives for abusing this little girl. And it seems like she's got good memory of what all went on. Pieces of shit. Sons of bitches. Let me get back to my channel here. Gosh, guys, I've had a hard time getting my thoughts and stuff together this morning. I hate anxiety and ADHD. Being clean is free. You know, that's something my granny always said, Sarah. She always said, you know, when they growed up, they was poor. They didn't have a lot. They made their own bloomers, as she calls them, underwear and things like that, and their own soap. She said, but they always had plenty of food, and they was always clean. I used to work at the Dollar General in a couple counties over. And at the first of the month, there was this woman, looked like she just come out of the freaking mountains. She would come in, she'd stink to high heaven, and she would buy a bunch of junk in the Dollar General store and not buy any hygiene products. And she is always sweaty, and her hair looked like it had enough grease in it you could fry a pan of potatoes, you know. Anyway, she'd stink to high heaven, get her money out of her bra, be all wet with sweat. Ugh. She'd just waste her money on nonsense stuff and not buy nothing to clean up with. I'd have to Lysol. I'd wait till she got out of view where she couldn't see me when she left the store. I'd have to Lysol and disinfect my counter. And believe me, customers didn't mind waiting for me to do that. Oh, gosh. She stunk to high heaven, people. Hey, Mel. I've told that story on here before. Gosh, I'll never forget that day. One day sticks out in my mind the most. She yanked that money out of them big sweaty boobies. She had a striped tank top. Her hair was slicked back with oil where she hadn't bathed. And I did not want to touch that money. But I had to, and I had to be nice. I would have liked to have said, lady, won't you go over and buy you a bar of soap and some shampoo and some deodorant? That's what I wanted to say. Oh my gosh, I see another a D.C. police officer committed suicide. That's sad. Speaking of politics, let me find my Kellyanne Conway crap. Kellyanne Conway, she must not taught her daughter no respect raising her or something, because her daughter has secretly recorded her, put it up on Instagram, embarrassed her in front of the whole world. Everybody knows Kellyanne Conway worked for Trump at the White House doing some crap. Anyways, now she's done something else. Her daughter's name's Claudia. She's a teenager. She's a freaking brat. She needs her ass busted. Now, she claims that her mom got into her phone, got a picture of her she took a couple months ago where she was topless, got that picture and put it on her phone and uploaded it. It was uploaded in like a tweet that disappears like in a certain amount of time. Anyways, Claudia, after that, she posted that her mom was going to be going to jail for doing that. The police were called and everything to the home, and they are investigating. Then Claudia came out and made another post that she shouldn't have brought anything public, and that her mom didn't do that, that someone must have hacked her mom's account. No, little lady, you hacked your mom's account and posted that. I could bet you my bottom dollar on it. Like I said, it's not the first time she has done something to her mom publicly. She has secretly recorded her and everything. Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be? Here you are working at the White House for the president, and your little bratty daughter is secretly recording your little bickering and things like that. I don't know a lot about Kellyanne Conway besides she worked for Trump, and her daughter secretly recorded her and put it up on Instagram a couple times and TikTok, I believe. Anyways, they're investigating this. Let's read it. She doesn't look like she's a teenager to me. She looks like she's about 25 years old. So this is in New Jersey. Authorities in New Jersey have launched an investigation after a topless photo of Kellyanne Conway's teenage daughter briefly appeared on the former Trump advisor's Twitter account. According to the New York Post, officers from both the Alpine Police Department and the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office visited the Conway home in Alpine on Tuesday, the day after a topless photo of Claudia Conway appeared in a Twitter fleet, a temporary post on the social media platform that expires after 24 hours. Claudia, 16, later posted a video on TikTok saying she believed her mother had taken the photo from Claudia's phone. The picture's from months ago, and I'm assuming that when my mom took my phone, anytime she's taking it, because she takes it all the time, she took a picture of that. So that was on her phone, Claudia said in the since deleted post. And I guess she accidentally posted it or somebody hacked her, but nobody would ever have any photo like that of her. So, Kellyanne, you're going to effing jail. That's what she posted about her mom. Earlier Tuesday, Claudia posted another TikTok video retracting the accusation against her mother. I know that my mom would never, ever post anything to hurt me like that intentionally, and I do believe she was hacked. I want to apologize for making all this public, Claudia said in the video. My mom and I, we fight like mothers and daughters, but we also love like mothers and daughters, and I do love her. The teenager also said she would be taking a social media break and asked for the public to stop contacting authorities about the incident. Claudia's father, George Conway, a vocal Trump critic who has been very public in his criticism of the administration that employed his wife, posted the video to his popular Twitter account, claiming that his daughter asked him to share it. Our daughter Claudia asked me to tweet the statement for her, Conway wrote. and disabled the public reply function. The video prompted accusations and speculation on social media that the teen was in a hostage situation. Alpine Police Chief Christopher, I can't pronounce his last name, told the New York Post that the incident is under investigation. She's not being held hostage. What she needs is her little ass busted. She has no respect for her mother. None. An investigation is being conducted. No additional information can be released. According to the report, the officers entered the home and remained there for about an hour. The Alpine Police Department has not returned Crime Online's request for comment. I was wondering who opened my door up. That was Boo Boo. He pushed that door open hard, didn't he? Yeah. Anyhow, this little girl needs to be taught some respect. Evidently, she wasn't raised to respect her elders. And I wonder how that worked out in the Conway's marriage. Kellyanne Conway working for Trump, and her husband doesn't like him, or has been critical of the administration. Her mom would not do that to her. I think Claudia hacked her mom's account and posted that picture. That's just my opinion. I don't have enough facts to back it up, but if she did, it will come out, and her little butt might be in some trouble. I don't know what they could charge her with or what could happen with that. Now you apologize to your mother now. Take your ass to your room. Don't step out to your dad. And I get there. You got me. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Like I said, I saw a video where Claudia was in her bedroom and her mom were having a disagreement about something. It wasn't nothing major, but Claudia was recording her without her mother's knowledge, and she posted it to social media. It seems like to me Claudia is a little spoiled brat, needs her little butt busted. I know you can't bust a big girl's butt like that, but I mean, gosh, she don't have no respect or what? Yeah, they need some family counseling or something. Seems like she's got some resentment towards her mother. She's made her mom look bad several times. Oh, he and I divorced 20 years ago now. She's 39. Oh, really? You have a daughter 39? You don't look like that. You're that old. Old enough to have a daughter that old. She's entitled, yeah. That child thinks she's grown, and I blame the parents. You know what I think? They probably worked a lot and been away from home a lot. Probably nannies and things. People like that's raised the kids, and they probably bought them a lot of, material items to try to make up for not always being around, and now they're spoiled. Hey, she's a beautiful girl, but she needs to change her attitude. She should be embarrassed herself. Why would she take a picture of herself like that? If she didn't intend on sending it to nobody ever, she said she took the picture of herself, but no one else had the picture. No, really? I know one thing. I just don't believe her mom posted that picture. And if her mom was hacked, wouldn't they have done more than just post that picture to her account? I was a granny at age 28. Step granny, but granny all the same. If I ever become a granny, I think I'm just going to be called Nanny or something like that. Nanny, something. I don't know if I like the word granny or not. The parents set the tone and rules for the rearing. Yeah, they've been let go. You can tell she's been let go. She's been give everything, and look how she turned out. Now she's disrespectful. She obviously has no respect for her mother. I can't believe she put out a statement saying that her mother did that. She's not thinking about the consequences when she writes these things and posts these videos online. She's really not. She's really, really immature. I would tell you this much. If I ever spoke to my parents the way these kids mouth off today, my daddy would put me through a while. I would deserve it too. I respect my elders. Yeah, me too. My mom would backhand us. Believe me, I was backhanded in the mouth several times growing up. She always calls it backhand. She'd pop you in the mouth. She may not understand how punishment works. She may not because she's always been catered to. How are you doing, L. Dot? And my parents never spanked me, not once. No, I've never spanked my son either. No, I could always just say no. I mean, you got to teach them. Teach kids from an early age. Like my son, he is so well mannered. Anything you reach him, he's going to tell you thank you automatically or you're welcome. He's very polite, well mannered. I got a good son. It's getting big on me. He's a teeny bopper now. Oh, that's good, Eldot. I ain't seen you in a while. I knew better. I behaved. Yeah, like around my papa, I knew to walk the line. He was old school crap. He didn't believe in laying out in the sun or anything. Like, he didn't care if I laid out in the sun, but I didn't do it when he was home. He didn't like you to wear ankle bracelets, anything. He was old school. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Well, my mom's helped me, guys. Me and my mom both raised him. She's helped me. She's done a good job. She's a good nanny. She really is. A little overprotective, but all in all. Oh yeah, speaking of my son, he gave me an idea for a case. He's like, "Mom, you should look into the Cecil Hotel. There was a girl there that was found in a water tank. Do y'all know that story? I don't know the girl's name. I just know a little bit about it, but I'm going to look into that. Supposedly, there's a lot of paranormal activity that goes on at the Cecil Hotel. Now, there was a girl that was visiting there. I believe she was from Canada. There's video footage of her running from something in the hallways of the Cecil Hotel and getting into the elevator. It's like she just disappears and somehow she ends up dead. And she's found on top of the roof inside the water tank, water tower, whatever you call it. No, it's in California. It's in LA. It's in LA, Sapphire. I noticed on TV, I believe it's on the Travel Channel, maybe, that some paranormal investigators are going to be investigating the Cecil Hotel. They got an episode coming out. Alyssa Lamb? Is it Lamb? Lam? Yeah, I'm going to look into that and we'll have to do a live stream about it. I know a little bit about it. Richard Ramirez lived there when he was on his killing spree. Yeah, I saw the trailer for the episode, and they allegedly talked to Richard Ramirez's spirit inside the Cecil Hotel. The Cecil Hotel, when I say that name, it reminds me of my middle name, because my middle name's Cecilia. My brother used to be mean, and he would call me Cecil. It's pronounced Lamb. Okay, thank you, Melanie. Yeah, I just saw the trailer for it this morning. But yeah, we'll have to discuss that. I think there's a lot of creepy things that's gone on there. I think American Horror Story, that's where they got the idea for that one season. Gosh, what was that called? Hotel Cortez or something. I can't remember what that season of American Horror Story was called, but I think they got the idea for that hotel from the Cecil Hotel. I wasn't too impressed with last season of American Horror Story, just to be honest. She was bipolar and depressed. Apparently, she had been on medication, but many have not may not have taken it that day. Really, she acted like she was running from something or someone. She could have been hallucinating if she was on medicine and not taking it. The circus was the best one. Oh, Freak Show. American Horror Story Freak Show. I know, that's my favorite one. I love that little bitty woman. What was her name? In the Freak Show season. I don't know. They had a little bitty woman that had dwarfism. She was so cute. I loved Coven. I can't hardly remember that season. It's been so long ago. I need to go back and watch it. Yeah, Freak Show was my favorite. What's the other one that I liked? Oh, yeah. The one, what's it called? It was the one about Roanoke. I think Roanoke, North Carolina, the Lost Colony or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. The clip of her in the elevator is creepy. Something is suspect for sure. Yeah, like she was running from someone, something, or she was having hallucinations. I don't know how she got in that water tank. I mean, would she have chose to have jumped in a water tank and drowned herself? When she could have just jumped off the building? See, I don't know. That don't make sense. I think there's something paranormal going on there. Anyone watching the remake of The Stand? Not sure if like it. No. Where can I find that at? I love Nurse Ratched. Done binge watched it. Melanie, I love it. I love stuff like that. I love stuff that, takes place, back in the 50s, the older times. I love it. I love Nurse Ratched. Now, that lady plays in a lot of the seasons of American Horror Story. What was that one? I think it was Roanoke, the Lost Colony. She played in that one. I love that one. Yes, Nurse Ratched is on Netflix, and I'm just going to warn you, once you start watching it, you cannot quit. It is that freaking good. Nurse Ratched is a little cray-cray. She's a little psycho. You don't want to mess with her. Yeah, I've really loved that episode, Melanie. How about that horrible clown? Oh, that was in the Freak Show, the season that they did the circus and stuff. And actually, a lot of people that do like work in the traveling circuses and stuff, they actually do live down there in Florida. Where's that? Jupiter, maybe? I think somewhere like that. I know a few nurses like that. I've come across some hateful nurses before. Actually, only one hateful nurse in my life. It's called Nurse Ratched. Yeah. Ever see the movie Freaks from the 30s? Actually, I have. And you know what? A lot of the people from the 30s that used to be in the Freak Show, it's so sad that people would exploit them like that. But a lot of the characters from American Horror Story Freak Show looks like those real life people from back in the day. Very interesting. My son don't like clowns, by the way. Him and I, we went and seen the remake of the movie It. Did we see the first one or the second one, Timothy?
Second one.
Oh, we saw the second one. It took forever, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like 3 hours long.
Like 3 hours long. I lived in Tampa. The freak show town is Gibsonton, south of Tampa. Oh, is it? I'd like to go down there. Used to back in the day, if you had any kind of deformity, disability, they thought you was a freak, and people wouldn't take care of kids like that. well, still to this day, some people won't if they have a disability. But anyways, they would put them in orphanages or sell them to the circus. So sad. I watched The Undone. So good. Great series. I've not seen that. The series is called Nurse Ratched. And you can find that on Netflix. But the lady that plays Nurse Ratched, she also plays in a lot of episodes, a lot of the seasons of American Horror Story, Alyssa. Sorry for the confusion. The circus claw guy murdered people. Oh, the Lobster Man. Yeah, you can find documentaries about him here on YouTube. Yes, he had something wrong with his hands, a deformity, and his hands look like lobster claws. He was a very, very mean person, too. Very mean. You need to see The Undone series. Is it on Netflix or Amazon Prime? Yes, he was right scary, and he's a mean-spirited person, too. He'd always been mean-spirited. I can't remember exactly what they said that he did to people with his claw hands, but he would do stuff, hit them and stuff. He was real mean. The horrible way they were treated, I think they used them for inspiration. They did. They were treated horrible. It's so sad to think about how people with disabilities were done, how they were treated back then. His name was Grady Stiles. Oh, the Lobster Man. Yeah. I watched a documentary about him here on YouTube. Oh, the show is just called Ratched. It's not Nurse Ratched. Okay, I got it, man. I see what you're saying now. So when you look for it on Netflix, just look for Ratched. I keep thinking it's Nurse Ratched because I think in like on the cover it's got that written. Sarah Paulson. You know, she has an accent. I think she's like from the UK. I can't believe it. I mean, you can't tell it. Sharon Stone. I always liked Sharon Stone. I really loved Dexter. Was so jealous I didn't come up with the show concept. It was brilliant. Hate how it ended. I've never watched Dexter. He was an alcoholic from what I remember. He could break bones with his claws. That's it, Vicky. Yes, he could break bones with his claws. He was really strong. Now, he had a daughter. I think her hands are the same way. It's some kind of genetic thing that's passed down. Oh, that will have you binge watching. You know, I don't have Netflix anymore, but I may sign up again. Dexter was too gory for me. I may have to check that out. I'm into weird things like that. Right, his whole family had deformities, yeah. Basically, a serial killer works for the police department as a blood spatter technician. Oh, really? I'm going to have to check that out. I've heard my son talk about Dexter before. He has a daughter and a son with the deformity. Yeah. And his daughter, I saw her in the documentary. She seemed like a really sweet person. Nothing like her father. Anyhow, guys, I better get off here and get out of my son's hair and go get some things done. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for your support. Channel members, we're probably this week we're going to have a Google meet up on Saturday night. I'm going to try to alternate doing like the Google meetings with everybody and then doing a live stream the next week. So this week we're going to all hang out in private on a Google Meet. When I set it up, I'll share the link in a community post with everybody. Anyways, y'all have a wonderful day. I will see y'all tomorrow. Be safe, be kind, and peace.